Welcome back to Music and Media Entrepreneurship. Hopefully you have already watched the videos on networking and team building, because now we're going to talk about a practical tool that you can use to network and reach potential team members: blogs and vlogs. They're all over the internet and everyone seems to be doing something, so why should you create a blog or a vlog, or maybe just one or two posts? The answer is because you have a personal story that no one else can really tell for you or tell to you. You have something of value to share with people, and specifically with the people who you need to network with and build your team from and build your audience and supporters through. So creating something that shares a little bit of a personal experience can help you to connect with these people. If you're in my class, then your assignment this week is going to be to create a blog or a vlog post. You don't have to create a whole thing that you're going to keep up forever, but you might find that it is more meaningful than you expected and worth the little bit of time and effort that you're investing. Even if you're not in my class right now, I'm going to be sharing some tips with you about how to create meaningful content that engages people online. So let's talk about blogs first. Some people think that a blog is a dying art, no one's really reading things anymore, but I would say that a blog can be very useful if you're looking to engage a certain audience. If you are looking to engage people who are more literary minded, people in the academic fields, people in spiritual and theology fields, anything that takes some studying and research, then a blog is going to be a great way to reach them. If you're looking to reach a more short attention span, fast-paced audience, like those we often find in the arts, a video blog, a vlog, might be a better choice for you. But let's chat about the tenets of a strong blog before we get into vlogs. How many of you guys have seen a Facebook post even that has like 30 paragraphs and you have to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll because you accidentally clicked see more and now you don't want to read it? I know that I have. This is similar to an overly wordy blog. If you have a lot to say, or maybe you're saying the same thing over and over and it's just a bunch of words, you aren't going to get as many people engaged in what they are trying to read. Instead, you want to limit your wordiness, maybe edit a few times before you share it, and make sure that what you're communicating is clear, it's meaningful, and it's to the point. The next thing you want to do is break up those paragraphs with some images that are related. Now, if you are, for example, writing a blog about how to cook the perfect cookie, then maybe don't post a picture of your great Aunt Sally in the blog unless she gave you the cookie recipe. Similarly, maybe you don't want to post a picture of the Sears Tower because, again, no one cares, it's not related, unless you got the cookie recipe from a chef in the Sears Tower. Then it's related and it's interesting. So pick a meaningful photo and use it to break up every 2 paragraphs of your blog. Now, you don't necessarily want 20 paragraphs. You can make it a 2-part story if you need to. I would recommend keeping your blog to about 5 paragraphs maximum. That way people have time to really absorb what you're saying and they can interact with it. They're not exhausted from reading forever. They can read it, they can comment, and then maybe they can engage with whatever you did. Maybe they can bake the cookie or follow a link to listen to a song or whatever applies to what you're writing about. You want people to have the mental energy to still interact with what you said. So keep it to the point and keep it visually interesting. So if you've created the content and it's visually engaging and beautiful and interesting and entertaining and all of that good stuff, and you said something that means a lot, then how do you get people to read it? Well, you have a few helps along the way. First of all, you want to make sure that whatever you're writing is easily searchable. So in whatever host or platform you're in, give it a few tags or maybe keywords. However, you can edit your search engine optimization in that platform. And believe me, every platform lets you do it. You should add some searchable words. Then make sure that your thumbnail looks good too. There are a lot of easy and free design things online that let you create beautiful images that could go along with your blog. Or maybe you are gifted at graphic design and you have a friend who can do it, great. Then just create a thumbnail. Maybe it has the text title in it, maybe it doesn't. The image should relate to what you're talking about, and include it with that post so that people are drawn to it visually. The content looks interesting, and then they will click on it and they'll read it. So the next step to this is, how do you use your blog to network? And similar to what we already talked about in the networking video, you could interact with people in the comments. If people share it, you could reach out to them and thank them. Or maybe you could send it to people who you want to connect with. You could say, hey, I recently shared my experience about XYZ, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Maybe they'll read it and it'll start a conversation. Maybe it won't. I do recommend that if you're looking to build one connection, you should reach out to 10 people. Just as a standard rule of thumb, about 1 in 10 people will actually be interested in and engage with what you're doing. So work your numbers when you're trying to network, and make sure that you aren't reaching out to just one person who you hope will care. Reach out to a lot of people, give them a reason to care, and you'll build some meaningful connections. Maybe you don't want to share your experience in written form. Maybe it's better shared in video. So this is where you might create a vlog post. The vlog can be an interesting creature because we're so used to talking on camera that often we ramble. And you don't want to ramble because no one's going to watch the whole thing. So before you start recording, make sure that you plan your content. You don't have to script it, but you should have a few key points that you know you're going to hit and maybe share more about once you get there. So make sure that you have a little bit of a roadmap for your vlog. The next thing you want to do is, just like in a written blog, don't be too wordy. Don't ramble. Now, in video, you can edit it out just like you can hit that delete key when you're writing, but it's easier if you just say what you mean the first time. Another tip that is similar in your blog is that when you're doing a video, you want to have fast-paced content. So you'll notice that a lot of professional YouTube vloggers talk really quickly. So they're going to share their story just like this, and they're going to make sure that you hear every single point and maybe a funny joke, and then they're going to continue with their story, because they know that when you are in this kind of social media culture, people's attention spans are really short, and a long video that doesn't say much is not going to keep your attention. So make sure that your content is a little bit fast-paced. You don't have to talk like you're in a verbal marathon, or I guess it would be a verbal sprint, but you should make sure that you're not boring people by sharing the same thing over and over or talking too slowly. So then, of course, just like in a blog, you want to have a searchable title and some tags in your video that are going to help search engines find you, and they'll help your audience find you. So make sure that your title's interesting. Make sure that you embed some keywords into what your content is, and then trust that the search engines will help you with the rest. But beyond trusting the search engines, again, share it with people who you think would find it interesting or engage with the content. Send them a personal message, share it to your social media. Just make sure that people are seeing it if they are the type of people who you want to see it. So in a blog, a lot of times you'll add some credibility to what you're saying by sharing external links that talk about the subject, or maybe have some more expertise that can support what you're trying to prove to your audience. In a vlog, it's a little bit different. If it's a more intellectual video, you definitely can cite outside expert sources, but more than that, videos invite people to share your experience. So make sure that you relate whatever you're talking about to a personal story or a personal experience. In fact, even let them experience it with you. Maybe take them along in, that would be like a day in the life vlog, or maybe here's how I practice piano or whatever. Make sure that people are sharing in your experience, because that will show them this person's real, they're really doing it, they know what they're talking about, and I can engage with that. So I hope you can use some of these tips to create valuable content that help you network with people and enrich other people's lives. Make sure that you edit it, make sure that it looks good, make sure that it's clickbaitable in a good and honest way, and then start sharing it to network with people and provide them maybe a little bit of content that will entertain, educate, or brighten their day.